If you have a big dream, a big bucket list goal, and I hope that you do, there are three things to ensure that you can have that dream become your reality. Number one, be able to articulate it, not just in your heart and in your mind, but be able to speak it out loud. What is that big dream that you have? Number two, tell the right people. There are going to be naysayers in the world, obviously. So avoid those people. Go to the people that you know that will support you and encourage you and help you along your path to your successful dream. And number three, take some sort of action, because here's the problem. Even with the highest level of performers out there, there's a slight little problem that can come in the way, and that is that little voice of self-doubt. And it's not about if you have a little self-doubt, it's about when that voice of self-doubt comes to play. So you want to make sure you take some sort of action despite other people or even the voice in your head that says you can't do it. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it today on today's Front Row Friday is because this week I had a chance to speak at the same conference as this amazing woman who told a story about having a dream to become a pilot. And she went on to become a successful fighter pilot in the US Air Force. But her real dream was to be one of the Thunderbirds that flies in those air shows for the Air Force every year. And never has there ever before been a woman in a position as a Thunderbird pilot. And a lot of people apply every year, and there's only 6 pilots that actually do that job per year. So a little voice of doubt prevented her from applying for years. And when finally she had the courage to apply, the person that she was giving the application to looked at her and said, a lot of people apply. There's a lot of people out there. You're competing against a lot of people. And a woman has never become a Thunderbird pilot before. So you may think twice about applying because you don't want to waste our time in looking at your application. And that voice of self-doubt got the best of her, and she withdrew her application. She went to the officers club, sat down and had a beer. And luckily, a person that she knew who encouraged her along her path walked in, saw her, and introduced her to someone who was even higher status. And he told him, this is going to be our next Thunderbird pilot. She just applied for the job. And she didn't have the heart or the guts to say that she withdrew her application. But she was so filled with this encouragement from these 2 men that she went back and she reapplied. And sure enough, Nicole Malachowski became the first female Thunderbird pilot for the Air Force. And what's so exciting about this is that her story is one of perseverance, one of overcoming self-doubt, and becoming a huge success despite the odds that were against her. So when I saw her speak this week at the Women's Leadership Conference in Las Vegas, I was absolutely blown away by her story. Because when you look at people who have broken the glass ceiling, you may think, oh, it was so easy. Their path was so easy. Oh, no. Her path was not easy. And one of the biggest lessons I learned is that the voice of self-doubt even happens at people at the top of their level, at the top of their game. So articulate what your big dream is. Number 2, tell the right people. Avoid those naysayers, especially the one in your own head. And number 3, take some sort of action. Apply for that promotion. Apply for that job. Apply for that team. Put your hat in the ring. Raise your hand. Take some sort of action. And eventually, your bucket list dream will come true. Happy Front Row Friday, everybody. And do not listen to the voice of self-doubt. You got it. And I'll see you at the top.